All right, 4:30. It's Tuesday afternoon, Weather Impact Live. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. Good afternoon, everybody. A cool day out there, still a cloudy day for most of us. Looking out here at the window right now, and we've got a lot of low clouds around. Kind of part of that cooler air coming in and grabbing what little moisture is available up there and condensating it, making some good low clouds. Almost feels like wintertime out there, but we're going to be closer to average for temperatures. Take a look at the numbers. Today, we barely even made it to 70. In fact, most areas will not make it to 70. Obviously, temperatures starting to come down now. Tomorrow, I do think we get close to it, but tomorrow's not going to be that much different than today, except we'll see more sunshine. So it will feel a little bit warmer tomorrow, and the temps will get up by about 2, maybe 3 degrees warmer. We still have kind of reinforcing shot of cooler air for Thursday. Look at Friday. I mean, that's below average really through Friday for current temperatures or high temperatures. We should be about 75 this time of the year. I think over the weekend we'll start to warm up a little bit. We'll see a little bit more humidity as well. Nothing terrible, but kind of back more closer to normal. In fact, I think it's slightly above for temps. But then Sunday night into Monday, we've got another front coming through. Looks to be dry at this point, and we go right back down into the 60s again for highs as we get into Monday. Tuesday, we start our warming trend, and we kind of continue this little bit of a roller coaster, if you will. The cold air is in the northeast. This morning, parts of New York and most of Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, even parts of Connecticut were below zero for actual air temperatures. I was seeing anywhere from -4 to -10 for actual air temperatures. And then look what happens again this Thursday. That cold air comes right back, just bitter cold coming in from the north and the west. And that'll get not only the Northeast, but even D.C. is going to get cold. We always get a taste of that, but because you can see it's centered more over here, if you look where that trough is centered here, if it was centered here, we'd get more of it. All right, but it's not. So we got kind of that glancing blow that you see right there. That angle does give us some cool air, but not a whole lot. Now, you can see that angle kind of keeps up as we go through Monday. Same thing, very cold from D.C. northward, especially New York, all the way up through the Maine, up through Quebec, the Great Lakes for the most part, at least most of the Great Lakes. A little bit warmer to get back out towards the northern plains. But that trend continues. Then watch as we go through next week. We get a brief warm up, and then here comes another one. This one's a little bit smaller, and it does look like we're trying to change the pattern a little bit where some of this colder air here, and it's really cold, will plunge more down to the south as we head towards the week of Christmas. And that means a little bit warmer here in the south and the east. And we'll keep you updated on that forecast as it goes. Here's a look at the snowfall. This is through Wednesday. You can see more snow across the Great Lakes, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, all the way through. You can see lake effect snow here. This is actually a weak clipper system that's coming through. They usually don't bring a whole lot of snow, but certainly 3-4 inches for many of those locations. And then here comes another one. Same angle, you get that idea. And yeah, it's pretty chilly up there. Quite a bit of snow cover through this upcoming weekend. That takes you up through Sunday. So if you do have any travel plans, Chicago, even Cincy with a little bit of snow, even D.C. has another chance for snow. Snow in our neck of the woods down here would be basically the North Carolina mountains. I think even the Georgia mountains would be tough to get some snow there here over the next week. But it will be chilly in those locations. All right, now closer to home. We have those low clouds. It's kind of tough to see because they're really low, but you see the moisture's down to our south for the most part. Let me show you some of the rain. We're looking at the green here on the map. Highlands County, southeastern Polk County, couple sprinkles to talk about. Not a lot, but you see it's tough to push all this southward, so we will keep some rain in the forecast, mainly for Highlands County. I think the rest of us will stay dry. But if you look at the visible satellite, you can see some of those lower clouds that we're dealing with right there along the coast as well. So not everybody's seeing them. We've had some sunshine break out today, but between low clouds and those high clouds streaming by, it's been tough to get the sun to break out for most areas. Now, Citrus County, those areas, you had quite a bit of sunshine the further north you go up towards the Big Bend earlier today. There's a live look outside right now. You can see over downtown St. Pete. Well, this is from St. Pete. There's the Trop with the roof back on. We're looking at 69 degrees right now. Dew points have dropped into the 50s. Some of those will go into the 40s later tonight, which means some chilly temperatures again. And we had those this morning, right? We had 40s and 50s this morning. That's where the dew points generally are. But you can see the feels like temperature right now because there's a little bit of a breeze. It's generally in the upper 60s. These aren't far off from the actual temperatures. 69 in Tampa right now, basically what it feels like. But 50s for the Panhandle. These are current air temperatures. And one other thing, you notice the wind is turning to the north-northeast. That does warm us up a little bit, but this is going to take a little while for us to warm up. Again, 2 degrees, maybe 3 degrees warmer tomorrow, not a whole lot. We don't have a lot of wind with this one. That's good, and it's pushing further to the south. This morning was certainly windy. We had small craft advisories for boating through the morning hours, but things obviously have calmed down quite a bit. You can see our local winds are less than 10 miles per hour. So mainly most areas around 6-7 mile per hour winds, if that. So looking pretty calm out there this evening. Now, the drier air is in place. These are the dew points. This is a little misleading because dew point of 54 seems like we got lots of dry air in place. But in the morning, when you're close to 55 for an overnight low, the humidity is a little bit on the higher side. But as we warm up, we'll keep this dry air in place. And so we're going to keep the low humidity as far as the afternoons go. Okay, so we'll keep that through this week. And in fact, if you look ahead, I mean, Sunday, you can see Thursday, we have a little bit of a weak front coming through, so we get a little bit moisture ahead of it. No real rain. I don't have that. And then look at Saturday, Sunday, right? Comes back up, and then Monday drops right back down. That's basically another cool air mass coming through. So to put this in perspective, this past weekend when it was warm and humid, we had all the rain. These numbers were in the upper 60s. Okay, so I don't see anything like that between now and this upcoming weekend, in fact, even through the middle of next week. There's the forecast for tomorrow afternoon. That's around 3 o'clock. More sunshine. That's the headline for your Wednesday. Still upper 60s, though, for most areas, close to 70. And then you see that, like, this is that small rain chance on Thursday. This is Thursday before the sun comes up around 5 in the morning. You see that? Newport Richey, Trinity, Tarpon Springs. Small chance for a sprinkle as this line comes through. Most areas, most people won't even see it. You'll be sleeping. This is around 7 in the morning as it comes through, and then that kind of reinforces the cooler and the drier air. So that is, maybe I put a 10% chance on Thursday. I don't have it there yet. I just don't think it's enough. But we'll keep an eye on it for your early Thursday morning. Now, wake up temps for tomorrow. 40s again, especially Hernando and Citrus County. We were 40s this morning in Pasco. I think we're about 50, 52 degrees or so for Pasco. Tomorrow morning, 55 in Tampa, 58 in St. Pete, waking up to 57s for Bradenton, Sarasota, and 52 in Lakeland. Now tomorrow, again, the headline is more sunshine, and even when we're in the upper 60s, very similar to today, it's going to feel a whole lot more warmer if you're out in the sun. Again, Hernando, Citrus, we saw more of that today, but folks further south didn't get as much. Here are the high temps we're going with tomorrow, 69, 68 degrees or so, Hernando, Citrus, going about 70 for Tampa. But remember, that's not going to last long. We're going to be mainly spent in the 60s throughout the day. 70 for a high in Bradenton, 72 in Sarasota. Boating looks pretty good. That's noon, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. You'll see the wind do pick up later in the night. We do not have a small craft advisory. That is good news. I'll take that flag off of there because we don't want that. And seas are now going to only be about a foot or so. But remember, if you're going further offshore, there is a little residual swell out there that's going to take some time to come down. All right, expected rain. So look, there's just not a lot out there, right? Again, Thursday morning before the sun comes up, maybe right around sunrise, Pinellas County will keep a small chance there. I did go 10% on Sunday, and that's because I know there's a front coming through. Right now, the model shows some rain to the east and to the west of the peninsula of Florida, but nothing over top of us. So we'll keep that just in case. And I still think Thursday looks fantastic for the Bucks. Thursday night football game. Great football weather. We're talking lower 60s, and it will be dry. In fact, it'll be a little on the cooler side. And there's the 7-day forecast, guys, looking really good. Temperatures are gradually warming back up as we make our way to the mid and upper 70s towards the weekend. And then again, another weak front as we get into Monday and Tuesday. Might have to bring that Monday temperature down to the upper 60s. But if there's any changes, that's really the only thing that will be changing up there. Okay, that's it for your forecast. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got some really crazy video. We're going to go talk snow. We're going to talk some rain. We're going to talk some cool video to see as well. That's right after the break.
Before hurricane season hits, it's time to prep your home. Familiarize yourself with where your water shutoff valve is located. If backflow prevention devices are installed, get them tested annually.
Those are some great tips, and Cool Today is here to help you weather the storm. For over 60 years, we've been here to help Floridians with their cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. We can help you prepare, protect, and repair your home. Call 888-40-TODAY.
I was driving when a Ford pickup truck barreled into me from behind, sending me to the hospital.
I knew my husband was going to need an excellent attorney, so I called Dan Newland.
I'm so glad my wife called Dan. Dan really fought for me. He won my case and got me $650,000.
If you've been involved in a car accident, allow me to fight for you. Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Thanks, Dan, for winning my husband's case.
This autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. You need quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
All right, pretty good system coming in the northwestern part of the United States. And you've got what's called an atmospheric river there, which just brings in tons of moisture. You can see up here in the Pacific Northwest, just see all this flow coming in right here. And it just literally is just dumping moisture there. Rain in the lower elevations, snow in the higher elevations. And of course, it's causing some flooding because not only just rainfall flooding, but then river flooding as well. Take a look at this. This is in Snohomish County, Washington. Right now, NOAA's data is showing that the river there is currently at about 27 feet. The average is anywhere from about 15 to 20, right? So 27 feet is in what's called the moderate flood level. And you can see it's already overspilled the banks in many locations. It's going to stay rising through Friday. Remember, that's what happens with river flooding. You get a lot of the heavy rainfall, you get flooding right away, but then that all drains down into the rivers. That takes time for it to drain into the river, so the rivers will actually take time to rise even after the rain stops, and that's exactly what's happening there. Average is about 15 to 20 feet. It's at 27, and their forecast for that river there to peak at 33 feet. That is considered major flood level. So everything you see there on the left-hand side there will, at least most of that will likely be seeing some water here before this is all said and done. That's what, another 6 feet in river elevation before it's all said and done. Incredible rainfall, and it looks like that rain will continue kind of on and off for another day and a half or so. All right, let's switch gears here a little bit. Japan, they get earthquakes. They got a doozy. 7.6 magnitude earthquake. This was yesterday. Let's send it over to reporter Hunako Montgomery in Tokyo for a closer look at the damage and why there's now the threat of an even bigger quake.
A powerful 7.5 magnitude earthquake was reported off the shores of northeastern Japan late on Monday evening. And this earthquake was so powerful that it caused this office building to rattle very violently. You can see the blinds here actually tremoring in this quake. Also piles of copy paper falling to the ground. Now, the Japanese government initially issued tsunami warnings for 3 prefectures after this earthquake. Those warnings were issued to Hokkaido, Aomori, and Iwate prefectures. That means that waves of up to 3 meters in height could have been hitting Japan's shorelines. However, the Japanese government has now lifted all tsunami advisories, all tsunami warnings, which is very good news for the country as the damage might not be as extensive as initially feared. The government is confirming initial reports of injuries and damage. So far, they've said that at least 30 individuals have been injured, a couple reporting serious injuries, several reporting minor injuries. The Japanese government also confirmed that fires were reported in Aomori Prefecture. Now, also, it's important to note that the Japan Meteorological Agency has issued a megaquake advisory for this part of the nation. Now, what that means is in the next week or so, residents are expected expected to exercise extreme caution and stay extra vigilant about a magnitude 8 earthquake or higher. Of course, Japan is no stranger to earthquakes, but they're now saying that because of that very powerful 7.5 magnitude earthquake, the chances of a megaquake happening in the next week or so have increased slightly to now 1% probability. But again, the Japanese government is urging people not to be alarmed, to remain calm, and also, again, exercise caution, check their go bags, check that they're able to get to higher ground if another tsunami advisory or warning is issued for parts of northern Japan. Hanneke Montgomery, CNN, Tokyo.
And we've got some live earthquake data that you can see here, and it's color-coded, so you'd be looking. Obviously, here's the bigger quake that happened the last 24 hours, but you'd be looking at, see the yellow in there, that was the past 12 hours. Red would be anything within the past hour, and you notice there's not a whole lot there. And the good news, as she said, is that they had the tsunami warnings, but those have been put down, which is really good news, because anytime you get it out here in the water, depending on the type of fault and everything, and especially in this area, that can easily cause tsunami. So good news that. And 7.6 is huge. That is a large earthquake, very strong. Taiwan, you can see they've had one here themselves in just the past 12 hours. And that's actually just offshore. It's not as big as you can see right here, 4.4. All right, but that depth was 24 miles deep. That lower that number, well, I shouldn't say that. The shallower the earthquake, the more it rattles the surface. So that's pretty deep. But 24 miles deep, yeah, you'll feel that, but it's not as destructive. All right, now let's move over to Hawaii. Mount Kilauea on Hawaii's Big Island erupted over the weekend. This is the 38th episode, basically. It's one kind of continuous eruption. It's been going on now for about a year. This time it took out the camera. Look at that. Yeah, that's the lava shot up between about 50 and 100 feet high. Bummed that it took out that camera, but they've got other views of it, of course. In the past, the heights have reached over 1,000 feet. So for context, this is at Hawaii's Volcanoes National Park. This is on the Big Island. So there aren't any neighborhoods nearby that are at risk. And when it does overflow, which is not doing at this point, it goes down to that part of the island where they're making new land. It's just the saying in real estate where they're not making any more of it. Well, they are on the islands here, and it does spill slowly out into the Pacific Ocean there. It's beautiful. If you haven't been out there, you got to check it out. I was able to go out with the family, not last summer, but the summer before. It wasn't erupting like this. That would have been something cool, but you could smell the sulfur and all that stuff coming out of it. So pretty cool. All right, no lava in the fountains, but still lots of smoke coming out from that. Now, this is a live shot. You can see that smoke right now. This has been going on for almost a year, so we'll be keeping a close eye on it. But if you are headed out there anytime soon, you're definitely going to have some activity there on the Big Island. Okay, let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll finish up with our 7-day forecast, and we'll look at some snow video.
I was involved in a very bad car accident. Called attorney Dan Newland, and it was like 1, 2, 3. Dan really got it done for me. At the end of my case, he got me $525,000.
As one of the largest personal injury law firms in the United States, my team and I remain committed more than ever to win big on your case. Involved in a car accident? Let's get started. Call me at 813-888-8000.
Thank you, Dan, for winning my case.
This autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. You need quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
With a fresh new look and over 60 years of keeping Floridians comfortable, Cool Today is the name to trust for fast same-day service. cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Our friendly expert technicians take the hassle out of home repair today. And Cool Today is here for you tomorrow, too. That's why we're introducing a parts and labor warranty on select AC systems for a lifetime. For cooling, plumbing, or electrical service, get the best from today and for years to come. Cool Today.
All right, so we've had a lot of snow in the north, in the east, and the Great Lakes, and now even getting into the northern plains over the next week. But check out this. Not everybody's complaining about it, right? A lot of folks come down here to avoid it. This dog is absolutely loving it. Playing in the snow. This is in Newport News, Virginia. Doesn't get a whole lot of snow there, but they certainly got some even in eastern North Carolina yesterday. This was on Sunday. And yeah, we're actually having this conversation up in I was up in Buffalo this past weekend, and the kids were asking about the dogs and said, look, they're running around in fur coats. They love it, and they get all excited. And yes, this one definitely did that. There's still a little bit of winter weather there. That's going away, but I think they're going to get another shot, especially in the Northeast, this upcoming weekend. I kind of showed you that at the top of the show there. Really pretty cool there. All right, let's talk a little bit about our local weather here. I want to show you one more time that cold air that's going to be pouring down to the south and the east. We're just only going to get tastes of it. But if you notice the trajectory where it is right now, and then you go out to, let's go out to Thursday, it's a refreshing wave, but it's the same kind of area. And then look at Canada. Look what's coming down out of Canada across the Great Lakes. That is a bowling ball of cold air, and that's what gets there Saturday night, Sunday, and Monday, including up in the New York City area for this upcoming weekend. And I think there will be some snow on the south side of that, including potentially in New York City this upcoming weekend. So if you have travel plans right now, to me, that looks to be on Sunday and probably the first half of Sunday. So keep an eye on that right now for that forecast, because that could cause a few issues coming out of the Northeast this weekend. It's going to be cold either way you look at it, which it usually is, of course, right? But we're talking pretty cold for this time of the year. And then, as I mentioned, we're going to be watching to see, you see this dip here is not as deep, okay? But look what's happening up here. I think what's going to, guys, this is really cold air. And the model is suggesting instead of it coming down something like this, it may actually end up coming down something like this. And if that's the case, as we get into the week ahead of, see, this is the 19th, okay? So that means Christmas week, it would be really cold out here and starting to warm up here in the south and the east. So that's what the model is suggesting right now. I tell you what, this is the coldest air that we have seen so far coming down. That is polar air, Arctic air, okay? And so whoever gets that, unfortunately, I do think it's going to be down here. I'm thinking Montana, Idaho, Colorado, all those places, Utah, are going to be extremely cold the week of Christmas, and we'll see how much of that will come back down to the east. A lot of times it will come down here and then kind of shift slowly off towards the east and give us a little